Okay, so today we have When Last I Spoke to Carol by Morrissey. Last week I said I only had one track left, and it was that one. It was One Day Goodbye Will Be Farewell, and I'm a liar. I forgot. I have not done this one, as somebody pointed out. So there we go. You can call me a liar. I mean, my God. Anyway, so yeah, I said, well, why not do it this week? Because just to, finish her off. So let's get into this, talk about it after another intriguing title. Who's Carol? We'll find out, I guess. And yeah, talk about it after, so let's go. Fast.
When last I
the drumming
spoke
again.
to Carol, I said, I can't pretend it gets easier. She said, I've hung on, I have edged along this narrow ledge since the day I was born in 1975. When last I spoke to Carol, I said, I can't pretend I feel love for you. She said, I've hammered a smile across this pasty face of mine since the day I was born in 1975. When I said goodbye to Carol, black earth upon the casket fell. She had faded to something I always knew. To the rescue, nobody ever comes.
So wind. All right, so there it is. When Last I Spoke to Carol from Morrissey. And again, with that wind at the end, just reminds me, all we are is dust in the wind, my God. And that kind of goes along with the song here. So again, I think about how the song I reacted to last week was, One Day Goodbye Will Be Farewell. And I'm getting a lot of the same kind of feelings that I got from that track on this track. Because again, we're talking about death, I would say, at the end of this third verse. Really, struck me with how the end of Carol, I guess you might say. So again, themes of death, themes of there's darkness, there's sadness, there's kind of depression, there's just not being able to escape this thing called life in a way. I mean, we're talking about the futility of life and just how some people just can't cope with it, can't cope with life. And as Carol says, I mean, just to say, I'm talking about the lyrics, kind of at the top, but just to talk about how she's hung on since 1975 when she was born, and it seems like it's she's not going to hang on for much longer, and I guess she didn't. But I mean, just to talk about the instruments first, as I usually do. Like I said, I think Matt Walker here again, just so fast paced, so quick, so vital to the track. And I mean, I think I laughed a little bit there because again, I was just like, oh god, here we go again. He's nuts again, and I just love that. And the guitar that started off very fast paced. The whole thing is fast paced. Even Morrissey's voice is very I don't know if he's singing fast, I would say, but his voice is just great over it. And yeah, the fast paced guitar almost kind of a Spanish flair to it, a Spanish influence. I mean, I would say on the trumpet too, with that trumpet and that guitar. And yeah, so I just really enjoyed that. And again, how the song started off with that fast guitar, strumming, and then Matt Walker with the bold drums, the big bold drums sort of the bat, and then we go right into it. But just I like the intro anyway, I guess I'm saying. And then again, just 3 verses here, 3.5 minute song, but 3 kind of short verses, but they get to the point and they make you feel something very emotional. Again, which, I always kind of expect from this man here. But yeah, everything is just so dramatic here. Like I said, the drumming, the guitar, the bass, Morrissey's voice. And again, it's so fast paced in a way as well. And I loved how at the end of the 3rd verse, at the end of the song, basically, Morrissey's doing the OOOs, whatever, kind of just almost showing off his chops at that point. But again, talking about vulnerability here, talking about feeling out of place, talking about wanting life to end in a way and just not fitting in at all since the day Carol was born. And again, I think about, is Morrissey almost talking about himself? Is he talking to himself here? I mean, the speaker who was talking to Carol doesn't seem very empathetic, kind of saying, again, I wish I could tell you it gets better, but it doesn't. And I mean, that's a true thing, for anyone who's going through a tough situation. I mean, yeah, life doesn't really get better, but even in the last of it, when he says, I always knew this kind of day would come, kind of a thing, and you kind of think, well, goddamn. Anyway, so I talked about the lyrics here so much, so let's just go to them. So, first verse, when last I spoke to Carol, I always want to say when I last spoke to Carol. When last I spoke to Carol, I said, I can't pretend it gets easier. I mean, my God, yeah, very bleak, yes. She said, I've hung on, I've edged around this narrow ledge since the day I was born in 1975. And again, the whole repetition of 1975, it's almost like, I don't know, putting more emphasis on the whole point that, I was born in 1975, and then by the end of it, she died. I think she died. Maybe suicide comes to mind for this kind of a track. And, anyway, I was born in 1975, and I died this year, whatever. Just to put emphasis on these years I've lived. And again, yeah, I've edged around this narrow ledge. I just love that, and I know a lot about edging. When last I spoke to Carol, I said, I can't pretend I feel love for you. And again, it's so, again, bleak and kind of sad. I can't pretend I feel love for you. And I don't know if this is a ex-lover or whatever who's talking to her or not. She said, I've hammered a smile across this pasty face of mine since the day I was born in 1975. Again, it just gets you. I mean, my God, again, she's never been happy, it almost feels like. She's always pretended. It's always an act. She's never, revealed her true emotions deep down, I guess, to the public in a way. She's always pasted this fake smile across her face, and it's just, oh my goodness. And then the 3rd verse, last verse, when I said goodbye to Carol, so then at the end of it, Carol's not talking anymore, she's gone, basically. When I said goodbye to Carol, and that line there is just so, for how the song has gone, that line says so much. When I said goodbye to Carol, black earth upon the casket fell. So I'm thinking about their putting the dirt back on top of her casket. She's in the ground at this point. She has faded to something I always knew. And again, this person's kind of saying, I always knew this day would kind of come to the rescue. Nobody ever comes. And again, it's just so bleak. I can't say it enough. It's just so dark. And again, I feel like this is things that Morrissey has felt, through his life. To the rescue, nobody ever comes. You're always kind of alone with yourself. You don't got anyone else. And again, it's just so sad. It's just so sad. I mean, my God, what a sad note to end off this album with. But again, so relatable for so many different people who go through, these depression or, whatever it is, these black clouds hang over their heads. And I know there's a song called Black Cloud by Morrissey as well. But yeah, it just feels like a black cloud followed Carol since the day she was born in 1975, and she just could never get away from it. She could never aspire to be anything. She could never kind of get out there. She always felt like she was weighed down, I guess, by life. And that's kind of how it ended off. Almost, again, I feel like it was kind of a suicidal thing that kind of finished it off. And if you're in the same boat as Carol, I think about how nobody ever comes. You know that this always was going to happen. This would always be the end. Because it's really up to the person who feels this way, who feels kind of depressed or out or, suicidal, whatever. You think about, can you get through it and live till you're, 90 or 80 or however long you live? Or will you end your life early? Will you just kind of stop and just say, I can't do it anymore? It's really up to the person. And it's really up. Again, this is such a deep, profound track. And it's something, Morrissey has done many times before, talking about these kind of things and really getting you in your kind of heartstrings and making you think about the futility of life. So yeah, there we go. Anyway, I guess that's all I was going to say. So what a sad note to end off with this album with, but there we go. And yeah, I really enjoyed this, and rest in peace to Carol, I guess I got to say, even though it's a character. So yeah, thanks for watching. It's a character, but obviously these people, it's real. These people exist. This has happened to different people, who go through these things and end their life because they just can't put up with it anymore. So yeah, again, it's so serious here. My goodness. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting, all this stuff. Really appreciate all the support, and I will talk to you guys again soon.